What's good, kings and queens? This week's video is on undisputedly boxing's most politicized championship match of the 2000s. This bout is between boxers whom their countries they are representing are still technically at war till this day. This is the tale of In-Joo Cho versus Masamori Tokuyama. So many who would be asking, why does one of the fighters have an obvious Japanese name? Masamori is a Zainichi Korean. A Zainichi Korean is someone of North or South Korean nationality that uses a Japanese name to avoid discrimination in Japan when it comes to applying for jobs, loans, whatever. A perfect example is 2011 Asian Cup hero for the Japanese national football team, Tadanari Lee. His real name is Lee Chung-sung. Before adopting Tadanari Lee, he went under Tadanari Oyama. Masamori's Korean name, Chung-so Hong. So the tale of this matchup starts up with South Korean In-Joo Cho. Cho had a successful amateur boxing career, winning gold in the 1987 Amateur Boxing World Championship. When he turned pro in 1992, he would slowly gather rank within the WBC organization to where he earned a shot to fight Filipino legend, the 39-1 Jerry Peñalosa in 1997. Jerry was not only the WBC Super Flyweight champion, but he was also the Lineal champion as well. He defeated Lineal and WBC champion Hiroshi Kawashima earlier that year in 97 to earn both titles. This would be Jerry's second defense of the title. It would be a hard-fought, technically sound bout from both sides. Cho would have his biggest round to start the second half in the 7th, nearly dropping Peñalosa. Going to the championship rounds, it could go either way, 11th round being rather even. The 12th and final round, Cho really out-hustled Peñalosa and won the round big. Cho will become the WBC and Lineal champion by split decision. Cho would make 3 defenses of the title before giving Peñalosa a rematch in 2000. He will beat Jerry once again by split decision, ending their rivalry. Despite being the Lineal champion, Ring Magazine had this man ranked at number 2, below IBF title holder Mark Johnson of the United States. Great fighter, but yeah, okay. In order for you to become Lineal champion, number 1 must beat number 2, or you beat the man that beat the man. Mark didn't do that, so how's he at number 1? But okay, whatever, that's for another time. So you're probably wondering here, how is a North Korean even competing in a professional sport? Masamori was born in Japan. He's a 3rd generation Zainichi Korean. Tokuyama went pro in 1994 and started a rather rocky career, losing his first fight at 11-0 against lower opposition. Then to come up short for the Japan Flyweight title in a draw, then again to lose in the rematch in 1997. Then in 1998, something just clicked with him, and he got good fast. He will ruin Japanese legend Hiroki Ioka's retirement match, then beat 19-1 Pon Segamoraka for the OPBF title, and by 2000, he's in line to fight for the WBC and Lineal title against In-Joo Cho. Promotion for this fight is obviously going to be wild, and if social media in today's world was around, then you would have definitely been hearing about the build-up. The champion, South Korean In-Joo Cho, and the challenger, North Korean Masamori Tokuyama, aka Chung-so Hong. Masamori was leading a movement among young Zainichi Koreans to not be afraid of hiding their Korean roots. So he gained plenty of supporters and plenty of people who plain didn't like him because of his affiliations with North Korea, and also the fact he will often come into the ring with the national anthem with the flag and another flag saying One Korea. That's some pretty edgy stuff there. So just fast forwarding here, because I don't have any more information to give. The pre-fight pageantries were definitely a sight to see, and a sight you will never see again at a professional boxing match. Despite it being quite divided, it was peaceful. Masamori, big North Korean flags, and a reunification One Korea flag. Then the champion, Cho, walked out with the South Korean flag, with the Rocky theme music playing in the background, which is even more eye-raising because Rocky is the metaphorical symbol of democracy, and he beat communism in the 4th installment. Both North and South Korean national anthems played. Just putting it out there for a second time, you will never see this sight here in boxing again. The fight started off quickly in Masamori's favor. Cho came in rather cold, and he took full advantage of that, tagging Cho up. Cho would warm up and fire back in the second, but Masamori would get the better of the exchanges, winning the round. Cho started the third round off fast, landing some bombs, but Masamori would immediately fire back, almost knocking Cho down, mainly due to balance. Tokuyama was just out-hustling the man that round, boxing beautifully, to now have 3 rounds in the books, in his favor. The 4th round, Masamori, his record doesn't really do justice when it comes to judging if he has punching power or not. 21 wins with 5 knockouts. It's very misleading. The man can crack, and he did that in the 4th, dropping Cho, then to finish the round off big. Cho came out in the 5th with the sole intentions of knocking Masamori out that round. He expended a lot of energy that round, loading up on every shot, and it failed big time. It was just downhill from there. Masamori simply outclassed this man 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. He did not let up. Tokuyama will win on the scorecards by a wide margin to make history as North Korea's first and only world champion. In most cases of championship lineage, there is almost always a rematch. There were quite a bit of headbutts, and that could have thrown off Cho's game, and he had a legitimate case to ask for a rematch. Unless there was already a rematch clause, but I don't know about that. I can only just assume. So there was an immediate rematch, granted May of 2001, 9 months later. This time in In-Joo Cho's backyard of South Korea. Holy crap, that's tense. Masamori took a risk, despite getting injured, to defend his title before the year 2000 ended. There were some scares, but he was able to cruise to a unanimous decision, which led to some hard partying afterwards. Tokuyama enjoyed his time as champion, promoting his political views and attending what looks to be a North Korean rally to celebrate his win. The introduction video, they are literally showing the supreme leader Kim Jong-il, then cuts straight to his fight with Cho. Just wow. Fast forward to fight week, Tokuyama arrives in South Korea to make his title defense to now challenger In-Joo Cho for their rematch, to where he was immediately swarmed by South and North Korean press, pretty much throughout the whole fight week. During the pre-weigh-in, there was something wrong with the scale and it had to be recalibrated. I honestly don't know why they were using that old dingy scale in the first place in a world championship bout, but okay. The press conference, you can just feel the tension. Both guys came in on weight and ready for Saturday. Surprisingly, a lot of Tokuyama supporters came out for this fight. By all means, it was not a big venue, but it was packed over capacity. In-Joo Cho would start the first round off a lot faster than he did in the previous fight, landing the first big shots, and to win the round. It was rather even in the second. Tokuyama would edge it in the final seconds. The fight being a lot more competitive early on compared to the previous fight, but it simply was not enough. Cho just couldn't get past Tokuyama's jab. It was eating him up. Then it was later setting him up to be hit by some heavy combinations. And in the beginning of the 5th round, that was all she wrote, ending the two-part rivalry right then and there. Masamori would be picked up while holding the One Korea flag while chanting, "We are one, we are one." Following after the fight in 2001, Masamori would travel to North Korea and vow his allegiance to the country, officially, thanking the Supreme Leader Kim Jong-il for his success in the ring. When news actually did make its way that he's officially affiliated with the North Korean regime, South Korea and the United States put the old ban hammer on him, banning him from entering South Korea and the US. Also to reasons why he could never come to America and fight despite ruling the division. Tokuyama will make a total 10 successful title defenses. He will lose the title against Katsushige Kawashima, then to regain it in the rematch, becoming a 2-time Lineal champion. In 2006, he would retire as the champion, but he will come out of retirement to fight then new WBC champion Hozumi Hasegawa, which would have been a huge fight. Hasegawa turned the fight down, and Tokuyama will retire from the sport for good due to the lack of motivation. Now in 2008, Hasegawa invited Tokuyama for heavy sparring, and despite being retired for 2 years, Tokuyama was putting up a good fight to the young champion. Their rounds were uploaded on YouTube back in 2008, and if I may recall, they went viral, peaking out at 500,000 views, which that is a lot for back then, and still is now. And on top of that, this is the most politicized championship match of the 2000s. For more tales like these, be sure to like, share, and if you're new, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram for more video updates, news, memes, whatever. I'm Alpha Sancho, and I'm out.